Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of Miami's Hot Corner. My name is Alex Morrison. I'm going to try to be very happy for the opening segment of the show, but I can't guarantee that's going to happen. Let's begin by saying that the Miami Marlins have lost the series against the Colorado Rockies, and after opening up Friday night's game, they find a way to lose the next two. And I'm going to break that down to you. Friday, they score 13 runs, and they leave 12 men on. We win that game. You need to score more than 10 runs to beat the Colorado Rockies at Coors Field. Just to bring that up to speed with you guys. And then, we have a pitcher's duel Saturday, and the Marlins found themselves leading, heading to the bottom of the ninth, 4-3. And Steve Cishek has really struggled. They put up a stat today on Fox Sports Florida at the telecast of the Miami Marlins versus the Colorado Rockies, and they had a stat that showed that Steve Cishek, in the month of August, he's 0-3 with an ERA of 5.86. That's not a good statistic. You could just know that off the top of your head. If you hear 0-3, you already know that's 0 wins, 3 losses. And Steve Cishek really blew the door open. As soon as he came in, he got the first out, and then Corey Dickerson, he fell behind 3-1, and he gave up a mammoth shot to tie the game. And then we go all the way, fast forward to the bottom of the 13th, they walk it off, celebrations left and right, and the Marlins lose game 2. You go to game 3 now. You're going to try to see if you can at least salvage the series and go take 2 out of 3. And for some strange reason, the Marlins decide to put in Brad Hand. Now, I'm all for putting in the youngster Brad Hand. Most of you are going to disagree with me, but I still think that we shouldn't give up on Brad Hand. Right there, I already know everyone's going to tell me, man, you have no idea what you're saying. But Brad Hand, in July, he's 1-1 with an ERA of 2.52. Now, that's a small feat. It's not a big number like 3-1 with an ERA of 1.58. It's just that at the same time, they also stated that Brad Penny and Brad Hand, they didn't know who they were going to go with. And if we were going to go with Brad Hand, you should have just told everybody since Wednesday. Don't just throw it on us on Friday. Oh, Brad Hand's going to go on Sunday afternoon. And I was reading up on Brad Penny and his statistics against the Colorado Rockies, and he's 13-5 into his career against them. But this is the most important part of the statistic. He's 6-1 at Coors Field. Now, granted, this is not the Brad Penny we remember seeing back in 2003. That sharp curveball, that fastball hit 96, 97. It's not the same Brad Penny. You got a different Brad Penny now. His fastball at most tops out at 92, 93. And, he's not as he was before. But at the same time, do you go with youth or do you go with veteran? At this case, as I said before, you went with Brad Hand. Yeah, you didn't get what you wanted from him. He allowed 4 runs at the end of the day. They put in Brad Penning in the 5th. He allowed 3 runs. The Marlins, at one point in the game, they were playing tug of war. Rockies would score 2. Rockies would score 2. Marlins would score 1. And then Rockies would score 3. Marlins would score 2. So they were never able to get back on the same page. Never able to tie the game. And just like that, 7-4, we lose and we do not win the series. And that's why I'm a little bit monotone today. And those of you who are joining us, my name's Alex Morrison. And if I haven't mentioned before, Amo's actually out with the flu. So I've decided to pick up the ball today and throw to first. No pun intended. Throw to first and take the lead on this one. And that's basically what's been talking about the Miami Marlins right now, is that they're in a wild card hunt. They had an opportunity to get within 1 game of the wild card. And when you have teams like St. Louis, the San Francisco Giants, the Atlanta Braves, and the Pittsburgh Pirates, who are in front of you for the wild card, and they all lost their respective games. And then we decided to go the same route and lose ours. And unfortunately, we didn't gain a game at all. We stayed at 4 games behind. And now we have an important series coming up, like I mentioned in our broadcast Thursday night. We have an important series against the LA Angels. That's going to be probably a tough matchup. And going for the Marlins tomorrow is going to be Jared Cozart. And against one of the Fish's old teammates, actually, Wade LeBlanc. I hope he doesn't shut us out. But knowing how the Marlins have played as of late, hopefully that will not affect us at all. I hope that we could at least try to get some runs on the board and I'm actually very down today. I wanted to start this broadcast. I started at a high note, but sometimes you need to hear the bad news, and then you hear some good news. And we got another 6 games to go on the road trip. Now we're going to try to see the Marlins and try to get some winning in their system, and hopefully continue to make their wild card run. And I'm going to end this. I'm going to go on ahead, and I'm just going to end by saying that, I'm a huge Miami Marlins fan, and for those of you out there, if you know me personally, if you don't know me, when it comes to baseball season, all I look forward to is watching the Miami Marlins play. And especially, you don't want them to start messing with your feelings. And that's why sometimes in this business of broadcasting, you can't let the feelings get the best of you. But sometimes when you have something very built up and all this anger, and it just comes out of you. But try to keep it professional as possible. So we're going to end on a good note. Hopefully the Marlins will come off with a 2 out of 3 series win against the LA Angels. And hopefully, I pray to God, they could sweep the Braves. But once again, thank you for joining me on our 3rd episode of Miami's Hot Corner. My name was Alex Morrison, and I look forward to seeing you guys on future telecasts. Remember to follow us at our Twitter handle at Miami Hot Corner. And guess what? We have a YouTube channel now. It's Miami Hot Corner. And you can see all of our YouTube videos that you've missed in the past. You can just pick it up from there. Just look it up. And I'll be putting this up on Facebook. Thank you guys again. Enjoy the rest of your night. And represent.